Occurred, the 9th of April 2010, 5 hours 5 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Evansville, Indiana, USA. Shape, light duration: 5 minutes. No of observers. One bright light spotted moving quickly over the morning sky. 05:05 am letting my dog out. Looked up at the stars, and a solid bright light slightly larger than the other stars in the sky, which looked to be the same distance away, moved quickly in a straight line across the sky. After swiftly moving across, the bright light seemed to stay in one position, then started moving again in the same path out of sight. No sound accompanied the light. Living in the country, we often hear the sound of a jet as it passes.
Occurred, the 10th of June 2010, 20 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Evansville, Indiana, USA. Shape, circle duration: 5 minutes. No of observers. 5 characteristics: lights on object, extremely bright orange ring with yellow, fiery center seen over southern Indiana. Object was a bright orange ring with what looked like fire in the center that was bright yellow. Object moved at same speed and height of commercial aircraft but left no contrail and made no sound. This was no comet or meteor. There was no trail or debris. I have never seen anything as bright as this. I witnessed this with my wife and 3 children. Object traveled from south to north, seen for 5 full minutes before entering rain clouds.
Occurred, the 18th of August 2010, 20 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Evansville, Indiana, USA. Shape, oval duration: no of observers. 8-inch disc about 20 feet away from me, floated across the ground and rose up into the sky. I saw a grayish-black, oval-shaped object. It was about 20 feet away from me. It was about 8 inches in diameter. It was a very small object. There was only one, and from what I saw, it floated across the ground and rose up, straight into the sky. There was no lights, and the light pole it rose up showed off its grayish-black color. It was not a bat, not a bird, or beetle. This object was an oval-shaped disc. This object was right in front of my face. This object was not there that long. I looked at it, and in about 3 seconds it was gone. It didn't jet off, it floated into the sky, and there was no witnesses but me, and no cars on the street.
Occurred, the 29th of June 2011, 2 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Evansville, Indiana, USA. Shape, light duration: 1 minute. No of observers. 3 characteristics: lights on object, orange light flying over Evansville, Indiana. Early on the morning of June 29th, my mother yelled for me to come look outside at the thing on fire in the sky. I rushed outside to see what it was, and here is what I saw: a bright orange light. Literally looked as if it could have been an object on fire, flying at about a 45-degree angle from where I was standing. The object was traveling, from the best that I could gather, from northeast to southwest. It did not make any noise that I could hear and was flying relatively fast until it disappeared into the distance toward Henderson, Kentucky. In size comparisons, the object was about 5 times the size of a star in the night sky. I will be the first to admit that I honestly have no idea what I saw. I've never seen anything like it, and neither of my parents who witnessed the whole account had either. I just wanted to report this to hopefully get an idea of what we witnessed that night.
Occurred, the 27th of August 2011, 23 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Evansville, Indiana, USA. Shape, fireball duration: 25 seconds. No of observers. 4 characteristics: aircraft nearby, brilliant reddish orange, fireball, moving silently from north to south over Evansville, Indiana. While visiting with friends on their front porch, all 4 of us witnessed an extremely bright reddish-orange flare-like ball of light traveling from north to south. The brightness and color of the object was what first caught my attention. It was brighter than an aircraft landing light would be if the aircraft was moving directly toward the observer. This object was moving from directly overhead of us when first noticed, to due south, until it flickered a few times and disappeared approximately 45 degrees above the southern horizon. The color was a brilliant red-orange and never faded or lost intensity as it moved away from us. The object was silent. The color and brightness was absolutely striking. I live 2 miles from the airport and landing aircraft pass directly over my home several times per day. I am very familiar with landing aircraft and this was not an aircraft. I also enjoy amateur astronomy and seldom miss an ISS flyby or a meteor show. This was not a meteor or satellite. The comparable size of the object was approximately that of a large aspirin tablet held at arm's length.
Occurred, the 8th of September 2011, 23 hours 33 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Evansville, Indiana, USA. Shape, light duration, 5 minutes. No of observers. 2 characteristics, changed color, flickering lights that look sort of like a star. It looked like a star but different. It flickered in different colors consisting of red, blue, and white. It also disappeared for a split second and then kept flashing. It disappeared like that a few times. I went inside to look it online and see if anyone else had seen anything like it, and then a few minutes later I went outside and it was gone.
Occurred, the 10th of January 2012, 3 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Evansville, Indiana, USA. Shape, light duration, 90 seconds. No of observers. 1 characteristics, changed color. 2 lights over Evansville, Indiana. Early in the morning I went outside to smoke a cigarette when I noticed a bright light in the eastern sky. At first I thought it was a star or planet such as Venus or something. However, I noticed it slowly moving in the southeast direction. The first light to catch my attention was brighter than Venus on a clear evening. It was following another dimmer light. There were no sounds from them and they appeared to be far off in the distance. I watched them make their way across the night sky. Both objects moving in the same direction, keeping the same amount of distance between them. The faded as they reached the horizon line. I live near an airport and I'm used to seeing objects in the sky. However, these 2 objects acted differently. I wouldn't have thought anything of it if there hadn't been 2 of them. The first one I saw dimmed quicker than the one leading the 2 lights. I've never seen aircraft do this. They have flight patterns and generally there are no flights out of a port this late. I don't believe it was a helicopter because they usually fly solo. This was different.
Occurred, the 10th of August 2012, 21 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Evansville, Indiana, USA. Shape, triangle duration, 1.5 hours. No of observers. 3 characteristics, lights on object, stationary isosceles triangle, with 1 very bright light at each corner. My boyfriend and I driving home from dinner in the city, when while at a stoplight I looked up and saw a very distinguished triangle of lights in the sky west-southwest. There was a very large area around the triangle that was pure black, no stars, no haze, no clouds. Even in the city night sky, this triangle stood out like a sore thumb. It was an isosceles triangle with 1 light at each corner. The triangle was stationary and did not move through the sky. While we were commuting the 20 minutes it took for us to get home in the country, my boyfriend kept his eye on the triangle. The lights were brighter than any stars that were in the sky, and the lights were also larger than any stars in the sky. Once we got home we walked down the road to get a clearer look across a field. While the lights at each corner of the triangle were very bright, we were not able to capture the lights on camera. We tried using the cameras on our cell phones, and our digital camera, but the triangle would not show up.
Occurred, the 18th of May 2013, 23 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Evansville, Indiana, USA. Shape, light duration, 2 minutes. No of observers. 4 characteristics, lights on object, several red lights taking off from the ground in a row, following each other, evenly spaced apart. We witnessed 6 or 7 red lights traveling low to the ground off in the distance. These lights were evenly spaced apart and seemed to be taking off from the ground and launching in succession. They were north of us and traveling towards the west. They were too far away to hear any sound, but were following each other, one after another after another. It was unlike anything any of us had ever seen before.